Let's get it going indeed. Hey Chad, how are you today? I'm Tobias. With me today on commentary and on restream is Ronan Traveler. Ronan, how are you?
I am having a fantastic evening.
Kick ass. All right. Well, without further ado, we have a double feature for you today again. Our experimental version of this yesterday went well, so we decided we'd do it again. This is two races again. Tenacious Toad versus TheSpecialize in the main bracket and kr3z versus BrewerJosh in the Wanderer bracket. Both races are going to be running the same seed, and, well, I think we're just about ready to set them off as soon as I have my timer set up. Whoops. -200, and here we go. That's -2 hours. And we should be just about ready to go here. Can you hear me okay, chat? This is the first time I'm doing restreaming and commentary at the same time, so it would be great to know. Looks like we are ready to start. Baseball set them off, pulling double duty again. And we are going to start in just a few seconds. And there we go.
And off. We
Shadow,
already
fire,
see a close
forest, water.
divergent.
Spirit. Shadow, fire, forest, water, spirit I saw. But I think I missed a medallion there. And 1298 is our step count. 12918.
18.
Oh, shoot.
Ooh.
And Deku Tree on the path to courage as well. That's certainly something.
Somebody out here is rolling some garbage seeds.
Yeah, can confirm. All multiples of 3. And we're starting off with Nocturne, it seems. And Jabu is on path to power.
Which is definitely an interesting one, because Jabu generally tends to either be Wanderer or is completely barren, since it's only 4 or 5 checks.
It's even less in Triforce Blitz, because the Boomerang chest is actually disabled. So it is 4
Alright,
checks,
that's
including Baronade.
looks like all of our runners are starting off with what has kind of become the standard meta, doing Adult Kakariko and Adult Graveyard.
Yes, indeed. It's a check dense area. You most likely are going to find some sort of progression item here. It's a reasonable start for all runners. And I mean, Nocturne just makes it so easy to go to Graveyard straight away. See what you can get. So far, not much though, to be quite honest.
Yeah, it's not looking like it.
That's Zora's domain footage.
Not looking like much in Kakariko either.
Yep.
Got Song of Time on Storm's check, which, if we're thinking, Song of Time adds to, a few different check options, but as far as songs you could get early, definitely not top of the list.
Yeah, it's not the greatest opening song. That being said, though, I I've seen worse. So, well, it opens up. Most important thing that it opens up is a few checks that are really hard to get to. The right side of the maze in GTG, as well as the river chest in Water Temple, come to mind.
And especially with high path counts, those are definitely some really solid places to be looking for too.
Right, Domain Foolish. I think we've seen this hint on someone else's trip in the open grotto as well, but... And yay, our bots on the right data source. We can actually give you all the information that we've collected about this seed so far. That's awesome. Thank you, Hell Knight, for setting that up for us.
It's like kr3z went ahead and grabbed that gold rupee to fill his wallet.
Reasonable choice, I think.
Something I've definitely learned is if you're not paying attention to your money tracker, you could wind up in a rough spot late in the season.
And also, you want that shield. I'm actually disagreeing with Toad's choice here to leave Kakariko without buying a shield in this case. Or if he bought a shield, he didn't equip it yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. I very much sit in team buy a shield, especially when there's a chance you run the entire seed with low health.
Yeah, you're generally going to be in low health mode in Triforce Blitz anyway because you are... Oh, Specialize is going to be annoyed by this. By the song that he's about to find in the windmill. Specialize ended up not grabbing or not making the void out in Dampe's race, so I had to save quit here and is deciding to go Child. Or going the song in the windmill. Might be to his detriment. Tenacious Toad, meanwhile, finding a big chest. Ocarina is Sun Song. That's good, that locks a single check. And there's a bow for us on Toad's side.
Now that could be interesting. The trick, though, for the bow is going to be because the other bows may or may not be bow locked. Ooh, Dodongo's Cavern, foolish.
I mean, that's rude. That's a dungeon you almost always want to do because it's so easily accessible with just a bomb bag. And it gives you Ganon's castle access if you have a dungeon completed. And a slingshot atop Dodongo's Cavern as well.
So the question is whether or not kr3z and Josh are going to go into DC now, or if they're going to... Nope, looks like they're both going to save quit and go back to Temple.
Yep. So, to note, again, these are two races that we're watching at the same time. So, whoop, I missed the hint on Specialize's part here on the Hyrule Castle 1 hint. But I'm sure it's gonna pop up in chat immediately. SFM Path to Wisdom. You don't want to see SFM Path in general, because the probability for that to be a song path is pretty high. Which is a bit of a blessing and a curse. It's a mixed blessing for sure, because it means you have a you have an indication of where you might skip parts of logic to get you further ahead and closer to the Triforce pieces, but it also might mean that this seed just sucks, depending on the song, which song is pathed there.
Yeah, I think the big thing I like about the Sacred Forest Meadow hint is you either know it's the song or there's got to be something really good in that Wolf Grotto.
That is true, and Fountain is Foolish was the Hyrule Castle 1 hint. We're getting some good Foolish hints here. And another thing to note, we saw an overworld location hinted on a path to Wisdom. That'll be SFM, which means that all the dungeons that have items that are path to Sacred Forest Meadow are guaranteed hinted. Just good info for our runners. Second runner who finds the nicest arrows of the game.
And especially when you're looking down something like an 18 path count, you're starting to try and figure out what are the things that are going to be skippable.
Yep.
It looks like some of our runners are going ahead and starting to collect skulls just in case.
I think collecting at least 10 skulls is a reasonable choice. You're gonna run past them, or run past 10 skulls almost inevitably anyway. Richard!
So for Long Long, we pick up Serenade and no other items. Serenade's a good song to have, especially when you don't have Prelude. A nice, diet prelude.
Yeah, it's budget prelude basically. At least for Child Song, it gives you an easy way back to and that's another slingshot. Okay, we saw a slingshot atop Dodongo's Cavern. We also saw a slingshot with Dampe here in Sphere Zero. Interesting stuff.
Oh, big chest and Kokiri.
Take it, and well,
Oof.
or not. Never mind. Kokiri Forest has another chance to redeem itself with something from Mido's house, which is a hookshot. We'll take it. Okay.
Mido Provido.
Mido
All
does
right.
Provido. That gives us Forest Temple access and a choice to do another quick temple, another quick dungeon to gain Ganon's castle access. For those who might be new to Triforce Blitz, why do I talk of Forest Temple, Snorfest Temple as a quick dungeon? Well, because we have a shortcut enabled in Triforce Blitz. That means you can just walk straight to Phantom Ganon and beat that guy up. No forest access yet in logic doesn't stop us though. Lake Hylia is path to power, says the Kokiri Forest hint.
So that hookshot could come in handy if you set Pierre and get yourself up to the top of the lab.
Yes, indeed, as well as to the adult fishing game. That being said, we found a bottle. We are a hover boots or a Zelda's Lullaby away from my favorite meme. Which Mage26 is already deploying early in chat. Bottom of the well, path to wisdom. Okay. By the way, that is a second overworld path that has, for power this time, which tells us that the path to power is also completely on the hint stones. It will not necessarily all say path to power. Some of those items might also be hinted path to courage, for example, or path to wisdom. But the entirety of the path to power can be found somewhere on the hint stones. Or at least all the dungeon parts of the path to power can. At that point, you start thinking, okay, what is going to be the overlap between those paths? And I'm starting to assume it's pretty significant, probably.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that wisdom might be leading to power. That bottom of the well play is probably going to be huge because I'm sure Storms is deep.
Well, let's find out. Some more song checks from Toad on the screen in just a moment, and Specialize even closer to the song decides to forego the Wolfos Grotto for now. Toad picked up some bomb shoes where I didn't see. Here's a reminder that SFM is indeed Path to Wisdom, and here is your Song of Storms. Never mind it being deep.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, and Temple of Time is... Oh dear.
Oh no.
Temple of Time is a Wanderer hint this seed. I call shenanigans.
That's a big oof there for sure. And there's bottom of the well also being hinted path to power.
Which means well is now double path. Gerudo Valley is foolish. It's good news. That is those are annoying checks, at least to me. Specialize, please.
It looks like Specialize is going to go straight to bottom of the well, which would make sense.
I think, yeah, rushing well when it's double path, even though you don't have many explosives, is a good choice here. Sorry, nothing I can do about the slideshow there. So the Wanderer hint means that there is a useful item in the playthrough, there is an item that is used in the playthrough by the spoiler log, basically, in this location. It doesn't necessarily mean you need this item, but that it is an item that the game thinks might be useful to you. Could be a song, could be light arrow cutscene. Yeah, the Well to Wisdom hint was indeed on the bridge scrub, or near the bridge scrub.
Chris picked up a seed bag.
Good thinking on checking the Storm's Grotto in Kokiri Forest before walking out of here. Thank you to Hydrophobic Walrus for 18 months of continued support. Thank you so much. And of course, there's a big chest underwater here. The Specialized will not like to see this. Considering, hey, you don't have ZL and you don't have bombs, and there's another bomb lock big chest. But there is a big chest that we can get to, and that's in the center of bottom of the well.
It's always a horrible feeling when you get storms early and get into well, only to find it all of the big chests are locked behind stuff you don't have yet.
Well, Toad shows us that the big chest under the bombable debris here, at least, is nothing that the Specialized particularly needs. It's just useful. Big stabby. Have a Biggoron sword. Automatic 30-minute time save.
And Specialize going into my favorite room, and by that I mean the room I always forget completely exists, to see if they've got anything in the coffin.
Toad picking up another bow. Bunch of big chests in the well. So far, all of them were bait.
I believe that was a key in the coffin for Specialize.
Yeah, Specialized apparently mentioned that his stream might do this. We sadly can't do much about it. We'll make do. We have 3 other runners on screen. And yeah, Tenacious Toad confirming for us that indeed it is a key in the coffin for Specialize. Let's see what's in that center chest. Strength upgrade. Okay.
Oh, that's going to be useful.
Well, that is certainly one of our path items that we found. Rez has now reached slingshot %. Congrats on that one. Another small key for Tenacious Toad. But at this point, not a big chest with the like either. And judging by Specialized playing Serenade, probably Toad is about to find nothing useful in lock pits either. Yup, there we go. But one thing that Toad can do, which Specialized can't, is check the basement. Specialized didn't... I think Specialized forgot about his strength upgrade here, or miscounted keys, because that is a big chest that Specialized didn't show us. Fire Temple Path to Wisdom tells Josh, and what's that? A bomb bag. That is what I call bomb-locked bombs, or strength-locked bombs in this case.
So does that put, are those bombs Path or those bombs Wanderer?
I think that's in logic, and I think that's a path item, therefore. And again, the one Wanderer location we have is the Temple of Time. Right. So yes, all three keys were accessible without having to get ZL or any bombs. Which means that this bomb bag was indeed in logic. No matter how badly you wasted keys, you could make your way to the basement and get that item.
The big items we picked up at the well were we picked up a bow, we picked up bombs, and we picked up strength.
Yep. Oh yeah, that bow can't be path. We've seen 2 bows in we've seen a bow in River Open Grotto. That is Sphere 0.
So we're having a bit of an issue with Specialized.
Fire Temple Path to Wisdom. And that is magic for BrewerJosh in the Open Grotto in Hyrule Field. Let's see if we can get Specialized stream to cooperate. Oh no.
Like we got special.
Got a specialized slideshow going. Can't do more than that.
Making his way back to CAC as an adult. BrewerJosh is setting Pierre.
Yep, something that is a necessity in Triforce Blitz. You have to set the Scarecrow. Kr3z is the first racer from the other race to pick up that bomb back in the well.
And as a runner, with well being hinted double path, it's got to be frustrating to find bow, bombs, and strength. The three items that, generally speaking, can be dubious in their pointing in a direction.
They point everywhere, basically. You need them for almost everything, but they don't particularly tell you, go this way. That being said, we have all the equipment in Logic to fully clear Forest Temple, just saying.
And with most of our runners kind of finishing up that initial Sphere Zero check, looking at the items they have, Forest is probably going to be one of the stronger dungeons that'll speak to you.
Meanwhile, Specialize might have missed the hint that Dodongo's Cavern is or is just going to employ True Strats now to get into that dungeon the quick way. Like it though. Shadow Temple Path of Courage, that is new info at least.
That should be a moderately comforting hint for our runners there, just because that's at least a 4 or 5 step in that direction.
Yep, you need Nocturne, you need Hover Boots, Inspire, Magic, and a hookshot to be able to reach the end of Shadow Temple. So something of between 4 and 5 steps tells you is at least pointing you to go to Shadow.
And at this point, you're hoping something like Din's Fire is locked in Ice Cavern behind Rudo's and Boomerang and a few other items. I missed that Krez found the OOT hint. I just missed the song. Saria, interesting.
Okay, so depending on where Minuet is, logical SFM access might, as an adult, might be pretty deep.
I think probably the best play for everyone once they go adult Probably try and find a way to get into Forest Temple. Maybe get that Mido skip in. Go a little bit into Forest Temple, and then I'd go check out Death Mountain Crater.
Yeah, Hookshot gives us a lot of access there. A bunch of new information. We have 3 new hint stones in the area.
And hopefully you could get sent on a warp song chain if BrewerJosh is anything halfway
Get lucky,
decent.
yeah. Let's see. Warp Song Chain would, of course, give us a bunch more mobility in the seed. Toad finds a hammer! Yeah, but I mean, that is a big argument for checking out Dead Mountain Crater now. And the accompanying Fire Temple.
Absolutely. Once grabbing that hammer, and I would argue that if for Toad should probably put DMC and Fire ahead of trying to get into Forest.
Again, no logical access to Forest yet, but this is definitely logical access to Fire Temple. I don't hate it. Well, Specialize is on the way to Goron City here.
Gonna make a pit stop in the Storm's Hole.
Looks like Toad is heading adult and doing just as you asked, probably. Going for Crater, then Fire Temple, then might possibly just head for Forest Temple.
Specialized got a big chest.
See if we
Missed
get
the
lucky
hint.
and see what the item is. Lens of Truth in the DMT Storm's Grotto.
Interesting. Looks like BrewerJosh is making his way into the depths of the bottom of the well. I'm gonna find all of the scary suspect items down there.
All of the worrisome items that you don't really want to find, but yeah, BrewerJosh is checking those out. Press, meanwhile, is waiting for nighttime in Hyrule Castle. Or in Castletown, rather. Wants to check Richard, wants to see if Richard's mom is stingy or has a cool item today. But meanwhile is chasing that Lake Hylia path hint. I don't hate it. Sets up Pierre before going into Fire Temple and looks to
Bunch of sticks.
yeah, pretty likely to see what that Lake Hylia path is at this point.
Hylia is always one of those places that it's difficult to loop in the entire check system in one go around. So Lake Hylia is always one of those things that you want to do as much as you can, because the last thing you want to do is have to come back 2 or 3 times.
Correct. That also includes getting this hint. Ooh, Burning Cactus Requiem. How fortunate.
So courage is in the spirit. Got it.
Yeah, that sounds likely.
Every time Requiem winds up on OOT or Burning Cac, it's just like, okay, what's the highest path count? Cool, that's probably where it is.
The Burning Cac dungeons are fire, forest, and water. Like it or not, that's vanilla.
French vanilla order.
Yeah. More vanilla, by the way, is that Spirit and Shadow are also both medallion dungeons. spirit even with the correct medallion. So Dodongo's Cavern being a foolish choice might still mean we need it for that light arrow cutscene in Temple of Time, though. Well, not needed, but it could be useful for that light arrow cutscene.
Specialize is making his way into DMC.
We get
Or
Zelda's.
Prelude.
Oh, we get Prelude on Bolero. So any song we find in Temple of Time is now guaranteed to at least unlock some checks for us. Still missing in action so far: Minuet, Bolero, ZL, Eponas, and Sunsong. You see, Sunsong is on OT? Oh no, that was Saria's song. Oh, that was a face that Link made there.
Specialized doesn't have a hammer. He's going to make his way back out of DMC and probably do some adult Goron City.
Reasonable choice. Also opens up the shortcut to the forest area, to the Lost Woods area. About to see a Mido skip, I think. That was a successful Mido skip.
Specialized is going to be the first one to make his way into Forest.
Skipping a bit of logic there to find out. I mean, we know that Saria's is on T. That could potentially put Forest rather deep in the logic, depending on where Minuet sits around.
It's a bold move going there without a bow as well.
Well, you can at least beat Phantom Ganon.
Big boy in beginning of Forest.
Ui. Code is going to be the second of our runners to dip Forest Temple. Interesting choice, considering he found that hammer. And that's Iron Boots in Forest Temple. With water being one of the dungeons required for Requiem. That might
So we are
very
long
well
shot
be on a
away.
path. That's true. Longshot or hover boots away from just being able to cross the wasteland. Well, click here to reload player. I shall click here then. Welp. Meanwhile, Toad's picking up his copy of the Iron Boots. And Din's fire on chickens. Okay. Hello, Phantom Ganon. Chickens is definitely a path item today. Or is potentially a path item at least. Fire is one of those things that we need for a Shadow Temple. We might see Toad follow in Specialized footsteps here for a bit. Pretty likely that he also opts to go beat Phantom Ganon before progressing deeper into Forest. Art piece from Phantom Ganon. Specialized picking that up.
I think Specialize, well, without the bow, I guess it wouldn't make any sense trying to go any deeper into Forest.
Yeah, I can't really.
Specialize picking up what, long path to power? Question mark.
Don't think we can have that hint. We've already seen our 10 path hints. Lon wasn't among them. But we did see a copy of Lake Hylia path to power in the back of Lake. That's probably it. Alright, some people in chat asking what the countdown's for. Alright, so welcome to Triforce Blitz. This race has a time limit. The Triforce Blitz game mode is capped at 2 hours of race time. So you either find your 3 Triforce pieces, for which you receive very strong hints, in the allotted 2 hours for the race, or you are free. You no longer need to race. So this is what the countdown signifies. Sunsong is on the minuet spot.
It looks like Specialize is going to go Child.
Yep, so where are we headed now? As Child, I don't think there's much to do for Specialize.
Probably going to be pretty locked until he finds that hammer.
Quite likely, but is possibly finding that pretty soon. Bombshoe Bowling isn't that far away from him now. Unless, of course, he plays Sunsong and makes it daytime. No, we're going to play Nocturne and go to the graveyard straight away. Specialize, I think, about to grab his third slingshot. Or the first. Knows what I know. Now, Toad has just beaten Phantom yet and it's back into the woods, so it looks like he is going to their forest? Question mark? No, headed into Goron City. That's a more reasonable play to me.
Toad going to make his way to the back of the maze?
Probably gonna do some Goron City checks, yeah, and then check out what's in the crater. Ah, just about mislinked the Goron. But Specialize is about to pick up his copy of Din's Fire.
BrewerJosh slowly making his way up the river. Specialize picking up Dins. Finding a big chest in DMT and the wallet. It looks like most of our runners are kind of crossing each other up and probably gonna spend the last 10 minutes doing some of these overworld checks and then kind of assessing what they can do with their last hour of free time.
Yeah, it's a bit of an well, how do we say it? It's a bit of a slog until this seed gets going. It seems I think once we get a clear direction, once we get a clear indication of where the seed wants us to go next, the speed is going to pick up a lot. That is our second copy of the Deku Tree Path to Courage hint. Betty Goron. Specialize setting up Pierre. With Pierre set up, which Toad has done, I think a reasonable play is now to head into fire. That is light arrows on the volcano, not like we care. So it looks like we haven't seen anything useful in Lake, so we might have a path item on Shoot the Sun, as Purple rightly pointed out. That's... I mean... As I said, I called shenanigans when Temple of Time had a Wanderer hint, but... this is kind of concerning. Specialize finally checking those checks that he didn't have access to in the well earlier. Finding, well, could have skipped that one. Did not luckily skip that one. Finally has a bow.
Definitely feels like the seed is pointing us towards some of the deeper dungeons like Spirit and Shadow and GTG.
Yeah, it smells like it. It's just not exactly where we want to be. On the other hand, it does seem to me like we have a bunch of overlap between the paths. Especially with two paths having overworld locations hinted. Indicates that all the dungeon portions of the paths are indeed hinted somewhere. And Toad is likely to pick up berries here.
Yeah, Volvagia without a tunic is not one of my strong suits, I will say.
It is not fun, to be quite honest.
Also, let's not forget, we are looking at Jabu as a path to something.
Not something you want to see, but something we got. Here's BrewerJosh's copy of the Lens of Truth.
Lost Specialize once again.
Welp. I do hope Specialize is local recording, because you still need to provide proof that you actually ran the seed. But I'm sure with his internet line being a known quantity like that, I'm sure he is.
Yes, we found iron boots in forest. So we've got Toad and Krez making their way slowly through fire.
And BrewerJosh hot on their heels. So far, not a single Triforce piece has been found between the four of them.
I'm definitely feeling like what they're looking for in fire is either something as part of the Jabu route, or you're probably going to want to find a long shot to get over to GTG.
Shoot the Sun is a heart... Wait, no, that can't be true. But it does look like it.
One more check to check off the list.
That is a long shot for Tenacious Toad, and he is out of Fire Temple straight away. Wants to check Shoot the Sun in Lake Hylia with that. Which I think the Specialized just showed us is nothing but a heart piece. Maybe we get a closer look on Toad's side here. That looks like a bottle. A piece of
Is that
papering.
Rudo's?
That is Rudo's letter. Well, that's our path into Jabu clear.
Which we know for
Unfortunately,
certain has something of value.
yeah, but we're not gonna go there, of course, until we find a boomerang. BrewerJosh hot on Toad's heels here. Oh, not quite actually.
Did Josh go deep enough into fire and find that long shot?
I think not. That being said, Purple calling Rush Ice in chat. Still not quite the time. Have our boots or Z Elliot. Both are still missing in action. While Krez is looking to beat up a fire snake, has finished beating up a fire snake. Happy 1 hour, everyone. What is the story of this seed? Well, not a single Triforce piece found after more than an hour in. That is the first part of the story of this seed. We are not yet sure where those Triforce pieces might be, but we are now able to cross the wasteland, right? Am I misinterpreting what I'm seeing? We have a Lens of Truth, we have magic, we have a long shot. Ah, this is wasteland crossing in logic. While we have a confusing set of items, we know we found a bomb bag and strength in bottom of the well as paths to power and wisdom, respectively. No, Lake Hylia can only be path to power for Rudo's letter, so and Jabu is indeed hinted a path location. No, Deku Tree is path to courage. Obviously, no one's been there yet since no Kiri Sword. We have found Iron Boots in Forest so far, which is path to courage. Found a long shot in Fire Temple, which by virtue of its location, I think was hookshot locked. Not sure. Was in the compass chest. And Market had a hammer as path to power. Hammer leading into fire, giving us long shot, which led us to Rudo's letter. Triforce to power is somewhere behind Jabu. We also have a Temple of Time Wanderer hint, which is concerning. And so far, no trace of Boomerang, so no real reason to go into Jabu yet. But Tenacious Toad, I think, making a good choice by heading into the Gerudo area, taking care of Gerudo training grounds, hopefully, and finding some useful items there.
Yeah,
And
Toad's trip into GTG is going to tell us a lot here.
send chat for never mind, F Airy. So with Toad finding Longshot, both getting into GTG and Adult Spirit is now in logic. I think we saw a hint that said no. Actually, we haven't. So far, no hint indicating that, for example, Gerudo Fortress would be foolish. So that is still in play. But there's not much we can do here at the moment. And Haunted Wasteland is a foolish location. Our last foolish location, in fact, which BrewerJosh just found in the crater.
Yeah, not the greatest piece of information we could have gotten.
But not bad either. I'm liking Toad's choice to clear GTG here. It's 22 checks, 9 of which are keys. And you can do all but 5 of them. I'm liking those odds.
Yeah, with long shot and the bow, Toad can clear pretty much everything he needs. The only thing he's going to skip out on is the lifelike room.
As well as... Oh, wait, we actually have Iron Boots and we have Song of Time. We can even do the toilet. 16 checks. Sorry, 18 checks that we can actually do. One problem with all of this. Path indicating that GTG needs to be useful. But it could be, as Toad just finding a big chest proves. And remember, while GTG itself is not path, we have indeed found a long shot that gives us access to GTG in a path location. That might just be for Spirit Temple access. It might be for something else.
And there's kr3z's long shot.
Exactly. Now's a good time to actually shout out our volunteers, everyone who's making this restream possible, which is a lot of people today. First of all, of course, follow our runners who have consented to being on restream today. Thank you so much for putting on a heck of a show. Tenacious Toad, TheSpecialize, kr3z, and BrewerJosh, thank you so much. Also, follow our trackers who are keeping track of this whole mess. Helping out with tracking our Purple, Veva, Baseball, and Dowsy. Also, thank you to Baseball for pulling triple duty here by being our race monitor as well. For 2 races at the same time. And thank you to Ronan Traveler for hopping on commentary with me.
Pleasure, and thank you for hosting our restream there, Tobias. All of this would definitely not be possible without our restreamers.
Try. Even though Specialized is making it difficult. Thanks everyone for volunteering your time and effort. It is appreciated. Alright, that was a very quick water temple fight for kr3z, but obviously with Boss Keezy enabled in Triforce Blitz, all you need to do is literally waltz in here to water temple and go beat up Baronate. So that is a choice kr3z might be making to actually have access to Requiem early. We have not seen the Temple of Time song yet. Fire Temple would be our forest medallion that gives us access there, but so far, Rez, who has beaten Volvagia, hasn't checked the song yet. And BrewerJosh going deeper into Forest Temple.
Welcome in, Raiders.
Welcome in, Millibug and friends, indeed. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good stream. It's a birthday bug! Happy birthday, Millibug!
Looks like kr3z is also going to make his way over and pick up Rudo's letter.
Yep. Which gives us access to Zora's Fountain, which is foolish, as well as Ice Cavern. Once we have ZL or Hover Boots. One of those puts it in logic, though. And it also gives us access to Jabu Jabu with something to do in there once we find a boomerang. Big chest on the fortress roof.
And what is on top but more bombs? Looks like Toad's going to cross the wasteland and make his way over to Spirit Temple. Hopefully, Requiem Check has a halfway decent song on it, because Toad currently does not have access to Adult Spirit. ZL would be nice to open up some of those other overworld checks as well as back at bottom of the well.
Would be really helpful. And that is Requiem for kr3z, as well as remembering to check a check that is easily forgotten by runners. Adult Shooting Gallery.
Is it forgotten, or is it actively, I just hope I don't have to do that?
I think it's more forgotten. It's just do the entire Kakariko loop, and then once you have a bow and make your way back to Kakariko again, you don't really, at least I don't really, remember to that there's another check there. But TOT, Temple of Time is Wanderer, is our Wanderer location this seat. So if it is for that, then we're looking at some very fuzzy logic here.
kr3z turning in 10 skulls for double defense. Again, another one of those items that not a requirement, but don't hate having it either.
While BrewerJosh is checking the front two of Shadow Temple, it seems like.
I feel like that. I don't hate that play, especially with high path count seeds. Once you get the Shadow Kit, it's always a good idea just to kind of poke your head in there and see what you can see.
Hey, where did Toad find ZL? I completely missed that. I think you even called it out, but I was taking care of something else at that moment. Colossus, okay.
So with ZL on Colossus, that opens up a decent number of checks.
It also opens up another song check right here, and Toad immediately is going for that. Can't blame him, to be honest.
Yeah, with Nocturne, I would say definitely going into the graveyard and then going Child and checking bottom of the well would probably be the first two places I'd check. And BrewerJosh coming up short in Shadow Temple.
Well, it's not like he wasted any time. It is still checks that he probably would have needed to do later, given that Shadow is a path location.
Got kr3z in Child Spirit.
Yeah, kr3z, the first one to actually pick up Burning Cack here. So long shot to grab that water medallion real quick, because he already had the other two, and reaping the benefits of being able to do Child Spirit here. Being able to skip having to cross the wasteland on foot. How's everyone's spirit key logic? Not great today.
Josh making his way into Water Temple. Gonna be an interesting play.
Interesting choice to not just go beat up Baronade and instead, sorry, not just go beat up Morpha, but instead actually do a few checks here. Found a small key on the compass chest. Press deciding to continue climbing in Child Spirit. That's key 2. This is key 5, technically magic locked, but we do have magic and Din's Fire, so no, actually that can be key 3.
looks like Specialize is making his way deeper into forest.
Is it? Oh, hey, we have a stream.
Alrighty, what is Krez gonna find?
Oh, one last check for him in Child Spirit, so let's see. But Toad is interested in that underwater chest in the bottom of the well. Maybe some more. Hey, that's a big chest on Krez's side, and it is a bottle. Okay. Not particularly worth the climb, I think. Toad with the underwater chest, which is a Triforce piece! That is the first Triforce piece we found between our four runners.
So all that to get ZL to go back to the well.
Yep, basically that. It's gonna be a Triforce of Wisdom for Tenacious Toad. All that to get Zelda's Lullaby to make it back to the well. So let's game this out. We have, for our 9 path, Song of Storms, needed the hammer for a long shot. We needed the hook shot was just sitting in Mido. Oh geez. I'll leave it to the mathematicians in chat actually. If no mathematician is available, you can substitute a physicist. Hi, Jax! Specialize, please. There we go, one more frame. The Toad is clearing up Child. Meanwhile, Krez is about to pick up that Triforce piece himself. Get the
And
stopwatch in
BrewerJosh
the
is
other
just going
match.
deeper and deeper into water.
Has to have a hunch that there's something useful in here. Not quite sure how he makes that conclusion. bow in bottom of the well wasn't in the key-locked area, but it also wasn't the only bow we found. We also found a bow in River Open Grotto, which was just, Sphere Zero.
I think Brewer Josh is leaning hard into the long shot plus irons means dungeon access and must do dungeon mentality.
I mean, it's a reasonable play. A Triforce piece can only be in a dungeon, so if you have no other idea, pick a dungeon. Oh no. I think that might have been slightly early on Toad's part, but we'll see.
Brewer Josh getting sucked deeper and deeper into the hole that is Water Temple. He also hasn't found the hammer either, which is going to make it real tricky to go get that long shot.
I've been informed by reliable sources that TheSpecialize has actually found a Triforce piece. And I think he might have gotten that before Toad. Found that while he was, not streaming. While his stream wasn't particularly working. So, at this point, it's not quite clear which piece he got or whether he's ahead of Toad or not.
Brewer Josh going to give us our first look at inside Ganon's castle.
So far, not immediately finding something useful in Ganon's castle, but there's plenty of checks left to left to see here. And I think that's a big chest in the cracked wall here for Tenacious Toad, which Specialize has just shown us should just be some bomb shoes. Well, I'm at a loss as to where the seed wants us to go, to be honest.
I'd take that ZL into Deep Shadow at this point.
Oh, once we find hover boots somewhere, yeah. Interesting that Specialize and BrewerJosh both are choosing to go deep into Water Temple.
Yeah, I feel a little bit of that 30 minutes and less dungeon panic kind of setting in a little bit. Josh picking up Rudo's letter, but we still haven't found Boomerang yet.
Where's that thing hiding?
People are asking if anyone has beaten Fire. Yes, currently kr3z was the first, I believe, to beat Fire.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Now we've got Toad also falling victim to the deep water bug.
Unfortunately, nothing to be gained here. Oh, Specialized giving us, I think, a check that we haven't seen yet, actually. I think anyone ever was, or oh yeah, right. I think one of the runners on the right side actually did check if the bomb lock checks in field had anything. Where is that progression? I'm not seeing it. It's... I think it might just be locked behind something like Strength 2 that gives us access to a bunch more checks we can see.
So therein lies the ultimate question of where is Strength 2?
Alright, now Tenacious Toad's turn to fight Morpha and I think get his third medallion. There is also... Oh gosh. Oh gosh. How about a Strength on Light Arrow cutscene? No, that can't work.
That would be rude. That would just be rude.
That would be pretty rude, but it's also can't really work because Spirit is, of course, too strength locked. It can't be that. Specialized finally finding his hammer, or about to find his hammer. And I think he just gave up on that. Accidentally clicked, I want to play again. Whoops.
And BrewerJosh finally getting the hammer.
And now Specialized needs to farm more money before he can try Bombshoe Bowling again. Fire arrows. What great fairy was that? That was a Crater Fairy. Interesting. I think that's the first runner we've seen that check. Have we ever seen Claim Check? Press going on a tour of clearing up the L-Log checks and all that good stuff. I think that's not a bad choice, actually. Oh, and BrewerJosh is into the treasure chest game, so chat, you know what to do. Mage starting with team left. And I think Mage is the only one still in here. And Mage's out as well. Hey, Crest found the boomerang. And I think that was on the Death Mountain Trail Ferry. On we go. That gives us a guaranteed path item in Jabu Jabu. The question is, will Krez actually make it to the second Triforce piece in time?
Good news for Krez that it won't be hard required for him.
That would be the case for Tenacious Toad at this point, though. Who seems to be heading for Ice Cavern.
Looks like it's going to take. So Krez is probably going to get into Jabu and find what he needs. Let's give him about 5 minutes or so. The question is, with the last 10 minutes, if he finds either Strength 2 or if he finds something like Strength 2, where does he go from there?
I think if you find Strength 2, you head into Spirit Temple and hope for the best. Hope for the best. With Hover Boots, on the other hand, you head into Shadow Temple and hope for the best right there. I don't think there's any chance of a piece actually being in Jabu, so...
But of course, the piece in Jabu is, the item in Jabu is going to be a Mirror Shield, right?
Oh, that would be rudest. That would be the worst thing. Wow. Boomerang was on the DMT ferry. Boomerang was CL locked. Which, considering you needed to cross or get Requiem for ZL. Anyway, do you do Baronade first, or do you grab the princess from the basement? And grab the princess from the basement and do those checks, right? Because what checks per minute?
Yeah, I do the 3 checks that you can do before going into Baronade.
Yeah, map chest, compass chest, that's it before going to Baronade, but that's still 2 checks and 2 checks compared to 1, so... The first of which we see right now. Are you our important item? Nope. I like the minigame music in Ice Cavern for Tenacious Toad here. Very appropriate. Are you our important item? Okay, Kokiri's sword. Jabu is path to power, while Deku Tree is path to courage. Alright. Time to go into a tree.
That's rude.
It is. Also because we are likely not seeing our actual Triforce piece in here, but just another item. Which is getting kr3z into a real time crunch. Oh, right, I forgot. Zelda's Lullaby has to be 9 steps because that's what got us to the Triforce piece in bottom of the well. So that might actually mean we find a Triforce piece right here in Deku. Thanks, chat! Okay. Alright, Bolero in the Ice Cavern. Thus concludes our song list. That Triforce piece is going to be somewhere before Goma, because so far I think Slingshot is not on the list of required items to get to Zelda's Lullaby. Could be right here. Or it could be a Hover Boots. That's step number 10. Oh no, sorry, step number 13 on the way to Courage. Add Din's Fire, add Magic. Oh, Magic might actually still be, or already be on the path to Zelda's Lullaby. Add Din's Fire. That's number 14. We are a ways away from finding that Triforce piece. I think it can't be in Shadow. Shadow would probably be too shallow. Oh, yeah, Forest was hover-slogged. All very interesting. Anyway. I'm not sure I agree with kr3z's decision to skip the compass room here. Because again, a 12-step path to... A 12-step path to Goma... sorry, it's 12-step path to Deku Tree would fit.
True, but skipping that room might bite him in the butt if it's not here on Goma.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think Goma would be 13 steps because a Slingshot wasn't on the path to ZL. So anything before Goma would be in the 12 steps.
I mean, good news, he's got 5 minutes to go clear that check.
The question is, will he? I don't think he will. Playing Nocturne here. While Specialize has finished fighting Volvagia. And we might be seeing a Triforce piece on BrewerJosh's screen soon. if what we assume is right and Specialize got the power piece out of Forest Temple. Actually, it could be the courage piece, considering path count. Because Saria's is an OOT, which is behind Deku Tree. Minuet is on Prelude, which is behind Fire Temple, which is locked by Hover Boots, which is behind Deku Tree. We know 12 steps to get into Deku Tree.
That tracks. That also hurts my brain.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say, if we find a Triforce piece in Forest Temple, that is actually courage. Its power, says Trickstonomy? Huh? Nocturne was the starting item, but that starting item is still a part of the path. Still counted as a step.
Forest being okay.
Okay, that hurts my brain.
Yeah, courage definitely has me a little lost in the sauce right now.
Ooh, Kretz is going back into Jabu for his last 2 minutes. Wants to see if Baronade has that Triforce piece somehow. Meanwhile, the get in the dungeon reflex is strong with all of our runners here. Toad is about to find his boomerang, so might be headed into Jabu himself. There's the boomerang.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to line up with courage being somewhere in spirit if we can find a strength out in the universe.
Okay, Toad has decided that he is done playing OOTR for the night, or at least for this particular seed he is. I can't blame him.
Yeah, the seed has been very rude to our runners tonight.
Yeah. As tends to be the case when you see a maximum number of found Triforce pieces of 1 for any given runner. We have about 40 seconds left on this race. Yeah, Toad angry, and Toad angry with a good reason, I think. We have a complication on who's winning here. We do need to ask TheSpecialize when he found his Triforce piece in Forest, because he did find one there, we assume. And I think, and we think he might have found it before
Toad.
Toad found his courage piece in the well. And that is time.
GG's to all our runners.
GG's to all. That was certainly a seed, but Krez definitely won his race against BrewerJosh. All right, Chris and BrewerJosh are joining us for an interview. I'm just gonna move them in here. Let's see what they have to say. Hi, Josh. Hi, Chris. Welcome in. GG's.
Hello.
Hello.
That was a seed.
Yeah, I'm confused.
That was very.
So were we. We have no clue where courage is, but I think we might have a lead on power.
My guess was it's going to be like a strength and shadow for light trial.
We're gonna guess. I mean, light
I
trial is
wouldn't
a good.
discount that if we could find both strengths.
hmm
Yeah, wouldn't
Where
discount
was
that. No.
where was the one that you found? 'Cause I didn't.
Bottom of the well.
I didn't go back in. Damn.
Yep. It was that underwater big chest near Dead Hand.
Oh, I looked at it too. That's unfortunate.
And we are joined by TheSpecialize as well. GG's.
GG's.
Specialize, when did you find your Triforce piece and where?
112 and Forest Temple.
Forest Temple?
I was at Forest Temple.
Yep, it was
Oh.
a boss key chest.
I was about to get that one too, man. And I did the Mito skip, and I just finished Phantom Ganon and left. If I just kept going. Hindsight.
Darn. Okay, so yeah, if I had just kept going, is kind of a theme this seed. Anyway, first of all, thanks for putting on a heck of a show. Specialize. Even though we couldn't see it on Restream,
Yeah.
you found your piece first.
Oh boy.
Because Toad also found his piece in the well at 120.
Oh, was it the one that I was able to peek? Was that the chest with?
Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
one that Chris also found.
Okay.
So that makes you the winner of your first race.
Was I the only one who found the forest piece?
I was
I
just
think you
about
were.
to.
Okay.
I'm confused how that's 12. Or was the bottom of the well one 12?
The bottom of the wall had to be 12. That one was definitely. I'm pretty sure that one was 9. Was the wisdom piece?
We disagree. I thought, it was 9 steps to get ZL and get back in the bottom of the well.
Was
Forest needs to be 12.
back?
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Okay. Wait. Does it need to be
ZL
12?
Zelda's Lullaby was on Colossus.
I was so far out of logic, I can't remember what was actually required to do Forest, so it's just completing Fire Temple, really,
You needed a hook shot,
which was Mido's.
yeah, from Midos. You needed the bow from, for example, River Open Grotto.
Ugh, that's
Right,
hard.
there were multiple bows, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
none were in the path. And Temple of Time was Wanderer for Minuet, so access to Forest wasn't in there.
Access to Forest was on Beating Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But right now, our presumption to make the path somehow work is that fire is hover locked.
Was there something else on Lax then?
Where was Logical Bomb Bag? Do we know?
Bottom of the well.
Yeah, bottom of the
Okay,
well.
that one was Logical. I wasn't sure about that one.
Yeah, it was in Logic. You had all
Okay.
3 keys available without Zelda's Lullaby or Bomb Bag. And that means you can get into locked pits, which means you can get the
Okay, yeah, no,
basement
that makes
chest
sense.
with strength.
Yep. I could have got that my first visit on that Bomb Bag then.
That was certainly a seed. I'm going to guess that the courage piece is either, well, as you said in Light Trial, I wouldn't discount that, or somewhere in Spirit Temple.
Could be.
Where was ZL? Was it
Colossus.
Colossus? Okay.
Yeah, on
That's what I
Requiem.
thought. I found the hammer way too late.
Same.
Then the hammer locked long shot, and that locked getting over there.
Was the long shot further up fire?
Yeah, it was map chests, the bow locked one, or the bow
Yep.
switch.
Map chests.
Explain that. I kind of went straight to Volvagia when I got the hammer.
Nice.
All right. I mean, we have a pretty complete list of your items. If any are unclear for you, feel free to ask.
So, did anyone find any other strengths, or is it just the one?
I only had one.
Nope.
Only had one.
Exactly one strength was found during the seed, bottom of the well. We were wondering where strengths 2 and 3 were.
Yeah, I never found Kokiri's sword. I never found Boomerang. I never found a scale. I never found Mirror Shield, Hover Boots.
Never found any of those myself.
Rudo's letter on Shoot the Sun was fun, though.
If only I had hovers, because I would just rush dice.
We were really hoping for someone to find another strength in Jabu, or I personally was praying for Mirror Shield in Jabu.
Oh boy.
Mirror Shield and Jabu would have been the rudest freaking thing. Like, I think if I would have found that, I would have just gone and forfeited right then and there, just because to be the hell. But so chat is claiming they're about 80% sure there's a strength in Shadow. That's the one unfulfilled path hint that we've seen so far, or that we haven't seen anything about yet.
Did anyone check the first two checks in Shadow?
I did.
Yes.
Okay, I completely forgot.
Key, and then I think it was just a regular small chest.
Where was Den's?
Chow? No.
That was chickens.
Down.
Yeah, chickens.
Oh,
that's it.
yeah, that thing
Oh,
I
yeah.
never did. Even at 3, I never did it.
I almost walked by it, and then I decided, like, kind of last second to do it.
All right.
I am still confused here. Because Jabu was path to power. So it had to be to
Yes.
get the hover boots out of Deku Tree. So it must be that Volvagia was logically hovers locked, but there wasn't a key on Volvagia. So I'm not sure why you couldn't get to the top.
I did not, so I got all the way to map chest and didn't go any deeper, but I had no keys left at that point. Or I had one more key to open up the room just outside. I know the upper maze was not a key, and the shortcut was not a key. So Pierre would have had to be a key then.
Yeah, but that just requires a hook shot.
No, but if there's no key in the compass chest though, then Volvagia is still locked without hovers. Because you'll actually need a key to go deeper.
Okay, that might be it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That extra key that no one ever uses. Or not necessarily the extra one, that one's actually one. The second key.
So making the jump without hovers is technically out of logic?
Yeah.
Yep. That's a trick that you can enable, but that's not in logic.
I gotcha.
And not in logic in Triforce Blitz. Yeah, I mean this seed has troll qualities. This was an amazing seed. In terms of just making runners question everything they know about logic and paths and steps and kind of stuff. Also included in that was that we had two paths or two Triforce pieces where we actually found overworld path locations, which means that all the dungeon locations that had items on that path were actually hinted somewhere. Might not have been hinted on that path, but they were hinted as path for something.
Yep.
So, both wisdom and the other one, power, had to have their entire path somewhere within the 10 hint stones, or within the 10 path locations. Yeah, this seed was out for blood, and the good thing with Triforce Blitz is we're done after 2 hours. Imagine having to finish this. But I think if chat doesn't have any burning questions, and you don't have any questions for us or for your fellow runners,
I want to know what's in shadow.
I mean, no one's stopping you from checking.
Then I'd have to do chickens.
I mean, yes, that's kind of a requirement. Or you hookshot jump.
That'd probably take me longer than doing chickens.
Probably. But
Chickens
yes.
wasn't Way of the Hero, was it?
Chickens
No.
was Way of the Hero, no.
Hack wasn't hinted,
Okay,
no.
I didn't think so.
Otherwise, I would have done chickens.
Hack was not indeed hinted path for once. But yeah, I think it's time to shout out once again everyone who volunteered to make this restream happen. First of all, chat, if you aren't yet, please follow our runners. Tenacious Toad, TheSpecialize, Chris, and BrewerJosh all put on an amazing show. Thank you also to our trackers who kept track and tried to make sense of this mess of a seed. Purple, Veva, Baseball, and Dowsy. Thank you also to Baseball for pulling triple duty as a tracker and as a race monitor for 2 races. And finally, of course, thank you to Ronin Traveler for keeping me company on commentary here. And I think...
And thank you, Tobias, for restreaming this so that we had a glorious race to watch.
For some measure of glorious. But I think we actually have a full complement of volunteers for your next race, Specialize, which looks to be happening in about
Soonish.
13 minutes, right?
I believe so. That's last I heard of it.
All
There's another
right.
room over